What's up, my fellow creators? Welcome, guys. I hope you're having a beautifully, phenomenally blessed day. Thank you for joining me for a moment in Becky's House of Cards. Today we are going down the rabbit hole with the Narcissist series and the importance of writing things down. Before we get into there, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. Knowing that is a free way to support the channel, as well as to connect me with you energetically to get you out more resonating content, whatever that may be. I do want to send a shout out to my OGs, my new Gs, and anybody that allows me your most precious asset, your time. It is an honor, a pleasure, a blessing being here, giving you guys these messages. And my prayer, as always, is that any of the videos of mine that you choose to watch happen to fall upon your heart in a way that reminds you to use your intuition, to use your discernment, to take back your power, and to make the decisions that serve your highest journey in this here, now, here moment. So let's get into it. The importance of writing things down. I'm going to tell you a story. Uh-oh, it's story time. We don't want to hear about your life, Becky. It's cool. I'm not here to try and pour it on you guys. I just want to tell you a story and why it is so important to write things down. Back when I was with my ex for about a year, we had just moved into our apartment, and guys, I had a very rough start with him. I lived with his mom and him, and then we moved in with his cousin, and I lived in the basement on a mattress, and the basement was infested with bed bugs, and they loved me. And I spent 6 months like that, going to work, waking up 6 days a week working, and him promising me that we were going to get our own apartment. Okay? And I kept getting eaten alive by bed bugs. Everybody would always ask me, what are those, bumps all over you? Because I would have them all up and down, and I would wear long sleeves. It was hot outside. I would wear long sleeves. It was miserable. I'd have them on my neck, on my face, on my head. Just waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and you see one of those things crawling all over you. It's ugh. Okay, so I'm not trying to gross you guys out. I'm really not. But suffering sometimes is a part of dealing with a narcissist when you're not willing to see the truth, okay? So let's fast forward. Finally, we get our apartment, and we're in the apartment for probably, I don't know, I'd say 3 months. And, I never really know what it was that started our arguments. I wish I could say, hey, he went here or he did this. There are a couple of those that I remember. But this one particular night, I can't recall what it is that actually started the argument, no matter how much I play it over in my head or I try to go back and relive the moment, because it was really traumatic. I remember we came home and we started fighting, and it was like when we fought, guys, I would lose my voice because I would scream so loud and long, and I would try to reason with him, screaming at him, and try to prove why I was right in what I was trying to say. And if you guys know, a narcissist uses all that and twists your words and makes you feel crazy because they somehow turn it all back around on you. And you're like, wait a second here. That's not how this was supposed to go. You were supposed to understand how I was feeling, and they don't. They don't understand how you're feeling because they don't understand how they're feeling. And this particular night, it was really scary, actually. Again, I stayed with him for 8 years, and we're about a year and a half in, okay? He, pushed me up against the wall, and I got so mad. I looked at him, and I think I finally stated the truth, but I didn't want to believe it. I told him I didn't love him. I, yelled it in his face. There was spit coming out of my mouth. It was landing on his face. That's how close he was. And he had me held up with his forearm. You know how you push your forearm? He had that across my neck, and he was pushing me up against the wall. And things just kind of got out of hand after that. He punched a hole in the wall. And I remember he shoved me into the bathroom, or not the bathroom, the kitchen. The kitchen, it went back like a hall. and he shoved me all the way into the kitchen and right next to the fridge. And he had my shoulder and he was pushing me up against the wall. And I was so mad, guys. I was seeing red. I was just yelling at him. Whatever would come out that would potentially hurt him, I was yelling. I was trying to cut at the knees. And, you know, so again, a toxic trait of my own coming through here, right? Nobody is free from sin, regardless if I'm a victim of a narcissistic relationship or not. I still served my own toxic purpose in that situation. And he claims he was a boxer, okay, like, whatever. I don't know. I still to this day have no idea if that's true or not. I mean, there's situations that prove that that's true. There's situations that prove that it was just a load of bullshit. And as he was holding my shoulder, he drew back his arm and he went to go punch me right in the face, and he stopped. His knuckles grazed my nose and he stopped right in front of my nose, and my eyes went so big. And I just started crying because I was afraid. I like feared for my life because he was a big man, and if he had hit me, like, I mean, I don't know if I would have survived that. In one hit, I'm just telling you guys, I just don't know if I would have survived it. And instead, he turned around and he punched the coffee pot. Why you're saying it's important to write things down, just bear with me, guys. When he punched the coffee pot, he cut up his hand. He cut his thumb and his finger. I mean, he sliced open his thumb. He probably should have gotten stitches. And it just so happened that his mom stopped by because she was going to drop off her daughter that night. And anyways, long story short, his grandma came over and I left. I just walked away. I just went out the front door and I just started walking. I didn't have the car keys because he had the car keys, and I just started walking. I was so scared. I didn't know what happened. And I remember as I was walking, I ran into some people. And they were like, "Do you need us to take you anywhere?" And I said, "No." And I realized now that was Source giving me an angel, and I said no to my angel. I could have gone home that night to my parents, and I should have, but I was in shock, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to explain that to my parents. And it wasn't the first time that he had not hit me, but it also wouldn't have been the first time that he had hit me. And I came back, and there was blood all over the floor in the bathroom. I mean, his grandma, she was getting on to him, apparently. I don't know. This is a story that he told me afterwards, that his grandma was mad at him. And after that, I started to write certain things down. And when I left for North Carolina, I really believed that everything from my past life got left behind in the storage unit that I lost along the way. However, the other day I was going through some stuff, and I found a journal, and it was after we'd been together for 3 years, okay? And I had started writing down how I felt about the situation, how I had felt terrible, how I knew that we weren't in love with each other, but I still felt like I had to stay because there was this weird-ass connection, and you can't deny a connection, but I just didn't feel love. And 3 years in, right? 1.5 years to 3 years. Here we go, guys. And I stayed for 8. Why is it important to write things down? When I was reading that, I sat there and I thought to myself, if only I had gone back and read the things that I had written down, I would have seen the patterns. I would have seen my pattern, not his pattern. His pattern doesn't matter, right? He was abusive. He was egotistical. He was manipulative. Okay? He was a liar. He was everything. It does not matter. None of that mattered. But what mattered was that would have shown me my pattern and my own toxic traits of allowing myself to become a doormat in a situation I had no business being a doormat in. Why stay if you don't love somebody? Why stay if you feel like the situation's doomed from the get-go? Why stay when you know it's not for forever? Because you're afraid you're not going to get better? Or because you're afraid you're going to be alone? Or because they've convinced you that this is it? You know, and I think all of the above are true for me. He convinced me. I didn't feel like I deserved any better. I didn't feel like I was worth anything. I didn't feel like I had, you know, a foot to stand on, a pot to piss in, whatever it is you want to call it. I just felt like I didn't belong anywhere. I felt like I was so separate and so segregated from the world. Well, we all are. We all feel that way because none of us are like the other. No one is like someone else. And so we all feel separated rather than honoring the fact that we're all unique in who we are and knowing that that is enough. So as you write things down, not only do I encourage you guys, even if it's just saying, you know what, today we had a fight and this is what we fought about and this is what happened. It doesn't have to be long. Those were 2 and 3 paragraphs long. Mine were, but then I found ones that were just sentences long. It was like 1 or 2 sentences, and it was just enough to show me the same pattern. And I was like, wow, this is crazy if I just gone back and read it. And so my encouragement to you guys is to write things down so that later you can go back and read them. Okay? And the only reason I share my particular story with you is so that you understand I was staying in a very toxic situation, but I too was very toxic as well because I was not changing. I let the situation change me rather than choosing to change based on my situation. You see, and that might not make sense, but if you stop and open your mind to it, you'll understand that if you don't like where you're at, the only person that can change is you. Rather than I'm going to make them understand and see that I'm the best thing they've ever had. They're never going to see that. They're never going to open their eyes to that. All they see you as is the person that's sticking it out, giving them what they want, forgiving them, letting them do whatever the hell they want. They don't have to be honest. They don't have to show up 100% because you're going to give it all. I know what it's like. And I know it's tough. And I know it's not easy to get through this. But I can promise you, if you choose yourself, you will survive and you will be stronger than you could have ever imagined because you have to go through the healing. You cannot leave this situation and hope to jump into a loving situation with somebody. As I'm going to tell you guys, if you're trying to leave this situation for another situation, that next situation is going to be an even bigger issue than the one you're in now. It may not be right now, but the honeymoon period, it only lasts for so long before the truth comes out. You have to get right and real with yourself in this now moment. That's why I bring up my story. I could have left him for someone else. I had loads of dudes lined up. Who gives a crap? But none of them are here today. None of them are here trying. If they really cared, if they wanted to be around, then guess what? They would have stuck it out through the bad times. Said, hey, you're worth waiting for. It's not that I'm not worthy. It's that they didn't see my worth. And when I did, it scared them away. But that's what's so scary to the populace right now, is being so intimidating. Just by being okay with being yourself, that makes you feel isolated. And you're not. You're not isolated. I'm not isolated from the world. I don't say no to guys just because. I say no when they show me their true colors because of what I experienced. I choose me above all else because of what I've experienced, and I'm asking you guys to do the same and to not be afraid to choose yourself because of what you've experienced. I'm not saying that my story is worse than yours. I'm not saying that what I experienced was worse than what you've experienced. I give it to you so you understand that I know what suffering and pain is. I understand that. And only if we work together and choose to support each other for ourselves can we make it through this and overcome these crazy ass situations that have exceedingly become popular. Like, it is crazy how popular a narcissistic, victimized situation is. Whether you're an empath or not, it doesn't matter. Narcissists are looking to prey on the weak, and if we're not empowered, they're going to find us everywhere. Choose to empower yourself. Not because you want love, but because you want to love yourself. The steps to get there will always be simple. It does not make it easy, but I can promise you that the struggles you face on the journey will be nothing compared to the suffering that you have experienced with a narcissistic individual. I can promise you that. You survived that. Leave that in the past. Now it's time to survive yourself. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. And until next time, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Until we meet each other again. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye.